This over here, Albergo Ristorante Roma, is actually where tiramisu, the Italian world-famous dessert, was invented, because it was invented.
It was invented, and believe it or not, this is going to make a lot of Italians upset because there is still an ongoing, I would say, dispute.
It's a dispute
about which Italian region of the north is the mother and father of this amazing dessert.
So let's explain where we are.
Yes, that
okay,
would be
so we're in the
interesting.
northern region of Italy called Friuli-Venezia Giulia, in a tiny town called Tolmezzo, which is it's surrounded by the Alps. We're like an hour away from Austria. It's beautiful. It's got the little windows with the flowers. It's just a beautiful mountain area.
Believe it or not, tiramisu is not an ancient dessert. It was actually invented between the 1940s and the 1960s. And there are two food journalists that spent 2 years of their life researching the origins of this world-famous dessert.
Their research takes them exactly here at Tolmezzo and in the place of the hotel and restaurant Roma, which in the 1950s was owned by a husband and wife, Norma Pelli and Peppino del Fabbro. Norma was in charge of the bar counter, and she was also, let's say, the pastry chef of this family business. And she would usually make a cake called Torino, which had similar ingredients, not exact, to what she then invented, the tiramisu. So one day, just out of the blue, she decided to play around with the ingredients of the torta Torino, and she replaced the butter with mascarpone and the savoiardi, which are the typical biscuits, the typical cookies. They're very dry and they absorb liquids. She decided to dip them in coffee. And there, all of a sudden, she put together the exact ingredients of what is today the tiramisu. And her husband, Peppino, when he tasted it, said, this really is like an energy dessert. It really gives you a lot of energy. Let's call it tiramisu.
Tiramisu, lift me up, that's what it means. Energy boost.
And just like that, so this dessert by Norma Pelli was created and it's documented in 1951. And there is this first receipt that is actually documented that dates back to 1959. So you see, tiramisu is the evolution of a dessert that already existed in Italy from another region. And imagine it was in the book of Italy's father of Italian cuisine, Pellegrino Artusi. So it's an evolution.
It's an evolution. And what we, researching, what we found out is that, however, Albergo Ristorante Roma was a very important foodie place back then. So a lot of people of the surrounding cities, a lot of people came, and when she started doing this dessert, people really, really, really enjoyed it because, come on, I mean, who doesn't love tiramisu?
No, you have to also consider that this town is in the Alps. And when people would come back exhausted after a full day of skiing, she would offer them this energy boost, which her husband called tiramisu.
Beautiful day to end a long skiing day, right?
Now, this is something I must say we were not expecting, okay? We are in Tolmezzo. We went into Hotel Roma, expecting it, to have like neon lights, like the house and the home of tiramisu. They don't even prepare it. The current owners don't prepare it. Nobody in the town prepares tiramisu.
No, but not only don't they prepare it, there is absolutely no mention. I mean, the town where tiramisu was invented. I mean, there should be statues, there should be fountains that throw out tiramisu. Nothing. There
is even no mention, a statue or just anything about a woman who, at the age of 98, passed away in 2015. So it's not that far away. No. And she really fought for being the mother of tiramisu. we just thought it was very interesting. And
See.
though this is not her original recipe, which we will try and share in our community, Casa Local Aromas, because we found the original recipe and we will be making it. Benny?
May I?
But the story of tiramisu does not end here,
Oh no.
because we are about to go to another place that has a whole different story,
A whole different dessert.
which is still called tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
The first time the term tiramisu was actually used was in 1948.
And this is how the story goes. There was a very young boy, young man by the name of Mario Cosolo, who was doing his military service on a ship. And he was the pastry chef of this ship. And in 1935, there was a contest. Somebody had to present a dessert to the back then king, because remember, back then Italy was a monarchy, and he won. His dessert won, and it was so appreciated that when he returned back home after his military service, his family had a restaurant in a town called Pieris, and the restaurant was called Al Vetturino. He started offering this dessert to his customers, and people loved it very, very much. How did the name appear? It's a little particular, because a regular customer who loved it so much, one day eating it, he goes in a local dialect, because from the town of Trieste, which is really close by, he said, "This is tiramisu." Tiramisu, like it lifts me up, sort of giving it an aphrodisiac meaning. And that's when Mario decided to change the name to tiramisu.
That's such a fun story. Mario Cosolo's dessert is actually famous still today, and it's called Coppa Vetturino. We came to one of the official places that prepare it. Look at this. Now, this is the way it was called, tiramisu. Actually, it's not like the tiramisu that we are all used to and that the Signora Norma created. Yes. This one, first of all, is presented in a cup, Coppa Vetturino.
Coppa.
It does not use the famous and traditional cookies called Savoiardo. It does not use mascarpone. It does not have coffee. So it's
what is it?
What is it? It has chocolate, like a chocolate cream, with this cream, and inside this creamy is marsala. So this one has a dash of liquor in it, which gives it a special kick. But it is important, first of all, because it brought the name of tiramisu for the first time. So it has its significance because it was first called like that.
See, yeah, it has a significance, even though it is not what we know it today, but still delicious. Are we? Are you?
Of course.
Are you?
Of course.
Are you?
Now, as I always like to do
bought two
it,
spoons. Yes.
you go
this is
all the
important.
way down.
This is important. How do you eat any tiramisu is like this? Why, Vale?
Because
Explain.
you want all the layers together.
Because they make sense when they're together.
This is very rich and delicious. Okay,
May
I'm
I?
gonna.
Here, I have a spoon. My spoon is clean. May I?
Remember how we told you that some regions in Italy are sort of like trying to get the credit of inventing it? Thanks to these journalists, it is certain that these two towns of Tolmezzo and Pieris in the region of Friuli-Venezia Giulia did play their role as where it originated. They sort of kept it secret. So the credit of turning this dessert into an international
I would say universal.
Universal international sensation goes to the northern region of Veneto. Something beautiful that we heard is that tiramisu, which is from the northern part of Italy, united Italy from north to south, while pizza and spaghetti, I would also add gelato, united Italy from south to north, because they actually originated and their story comes from the south of Italy. So you see, when we say that food brings people together. Tiramisu, which is one of the most famous Italian words, and it's used regularly in all countries, has united everybody in the world, but it has gone beyond the world because an Italian astronaut actually ate it and added it to his menu in space.
Yes.
So it's a universal dessert. So regardless of where it originated, tiramisu is probably the national dessert of Italy. And Benny ate it all.
Hey, she was talking. I had to do something. And I would say mission
accomplished.
very well.